We're not going to have any dead air at the start. That was what you were very concerned about last time.
Well, I mean, like you do all this, we do all this promotion. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars promote the. That's
that needs to start.
Now that is a nice start.
So I've never used it in beer mode, and I was like, you know what I'm feeling tonight.
Pretty good. Look at that. You've got
the Boiled Sports little koozie thing,
koozie thingy, drinky thing.
Drinky.
We got an order of one right after the game
this week.
Right after the game because it made people want to drink. What? No,
Dylan and Grant are here, by the way, guys. Already, they're timely. Dick Stillwagon there. Greg McManus. We've got a.
Look at this. Everything just tastes better out of a Boiled Sports can koozie. Look
how much closer we're getting to 9 o'clock too.
Hey, look at this. If you want to get a can koozie like Anish, just click on the BS store.
Just go to the BS only
QR code. The QR code.
It's all good. It's right there.
It tells us when you scan it, by the way. Maybe we shouldn't be sharing that. But
I actually think it also pops up on the broadcast too, so you can see.
It starts. The hype machine starts.
So everyone goes, "I got to get me some of that."
Look at all these people. Exactly. Look at all these people jumping in.
Legitimately, this is very cool, and I love this. It's very cool. It's really great.
That's the BS only.
Dick. You clearly are a newcomer to the show. We made that. We misspoke a couple of years ago. It's been a while, and we called it the BS. I think we wanted to call. You might have done
fans only. I think
fans only.
And then that came out a little
really
bit differently.
Wrong. It's weird that we would say things wrong. It's the handsome.
Dylan and I are wearing the same shirt, by the way.
Is Dylan in your studio?
He just said that. He said that over.
Okay.
He's not in my.
I'm focused. I'm not reading the comments. The best thing for someone like with your attention span is the stream of
just more stuff. To pull my attention is always the best. Yeah.
When we used to, I was never on it when drops were available, but didn't you guys have an era where drops were a thing?
Yes. We need to get. All we need to do is invest in a soundboard, and I could do that, and then I could have drops again. But yeah, we had a bunch of crickets and applause and really really high tech stuff. It was really good. It was really impressive.
I've gone back and listened, and it's awful.
It's not awful. The quality was awful. The sound
quality was so bad.
That's because we were doing it through telephones.
Well, our sound quality right now is better than many people that
many
are out
pros.
There. Man, we're at the point where there's a different Purdue online show for every day of the week leading up to Saturday.
I thought you were going after one in particular, but go on.
No, so I'm just saying, let's make sure all of us are on equal sound quality levels, guys.
That's a good idea. Dylan's on here. That'd be awesome.
Let's up the sound quality level. Hey,
he does a good job.
Maybe Dylan's on a good one. Maybe he's on a good one.
He does. He's got a mic. I think it's the same mic that J Sports right there. So Ted Burke, yes, good question to kick off. I know I'm stepping on somebody's toes here. I like this question. It's good. What was the atmosphere like on Saturday? And I talked about this in my post game, but I want to hit this again.
Awesome.
It awesome. They sound like we were right next to the students, which it helps. I love that because fewer people will yell at me and tell me to sit down. When you're 5'4", though, people are going to tell you to sit down. You're just going to be in people's way. It's just going to happen. Yeah. But the new student section, the new Ross Aid Brigade, it's awesome. They've got really nice digs. I think they got treated well. I was worried about them nobody put the baby in the corner. They were great. So they were there on time. They were loud. During timeouts, there's only like 2 sections where they can actually sit. I don't know if those are seniors and juniors. I don't know. They earn that. But then the other side, I guess they could sit on the concrete, but it's a standing room situation in the new South End Zone. It's really, really cool. And it was awesome. So that was good. Tiller Tunnel is really, really cool. They pulled a train right in there. I posted a picture on Twitter.
That's awesome.
It's a great game day atmosphere. It's improved. And I think Ross Aid was decent before. There are still some things that they have no idea how to cure, clearly. They're awful taking tickets, getting you in the gate. The concession stand to get anything, you're going to be there for like 5 to 7 years. And leaving, they have no idea that you were going to go in a car.
But I don't think you're being fair. These are not things that every stadium deals with.
Right.
That's true. Those guys at the concession stands are caught off guard. They didn't know 60,000 people were going to suddenly want
one thing that Purdue does, and I think they pride themselves in, and I don't disparage the people working the concession stand. Many of them are raising funds. They're fundraisers for like a dance company or a cheerleading group or a basketball team or whatever. So you have parents and kids working in the concession. I'm not mad at them. I'm not. I'm always frustrated when everything's not open on a game day.
Right.
And I think that happened. I know that they didn't have every entrance open to get in, which
why would the football stadium
open them
have
all
all of the things open for a football game?
Gracious.
Why are you merely concerned with getting in, getting food, and getting out?
Yeah,
Bow down.
I don't know.
What? These are details.
What matters is in between all of that, and that was
the really weird thing you guys have done. You guys, this has been this way for years. And Ross said they have the BTN feed on the screens, when you're waiting in line. And the funny thing is, I'll cheer like I'm in the stadium because I'm in the stadium when something happens. The interesting thing is you're on a 5-second delay. The crowd's telling you something good or bad's about to happen behind you. Who's gonna catch it? Right? How are they gonna stop them? That sort of thing. It's a ton of fun. So, but the delay is weird.
Aside from those weird things, which are not new problems, it makes me think. I mean, always go back to is has Babinski had a miss yet with these big decisions? With the big decisions? With facilities, coaches, man,
he's good. He's good at what he does, and it's going to be sad when he retires in the next 3 to 5 years. I don't have any insider info, but he's
of the age. He's of the age.
He's awesome.
It's a good gig, man.
It is a good gig. And he is. I'm telling you, he is.
The three of us will take
blessed to have that dude.
We'd be happy to take it over.
Yeah. If they want anybody, all three of us.
Exactly.
We could do the one job. It'd be like
the cost among us.
Yeah, that's right.
Every other week, it's good. Or every third week, we just.
That's a good idea. So.
Yeah, it's good.
Dowd did change his glasses mid-podcast.
These are his podcasting glasses.
Yeah, I had my readers on. These are so I can actually see the monitor and I can see everything because I've got old people eyes. So readers are. It's great. It's great.
They make them now where you have both in them.
That's what these are. These are progressive. That's what these
are.
They make it so that you can also just put it around your neck and you can just have them at all times.
Listen. I don't wear my glasses like when I'm oot in a boot. My Canadian friends, I'm sure we've got plenty in the market.
They got it, yeah.
But I've been trying to think of ways to do it because my sight is getting so much worse. I can't do anything. I can't read things. I can't see my phone. It's
There was a family member of my wife's had those around the neck, but they split in the middle.
Yes.
And they're magnetic. That is wild.
Notice how both of us right away are like, those are the cool ones.
Those
are the wild. Technology is crazy.
I'm not a librarian. I don't qualify for those.
You're a naughty librarian if you were on the one. You could pull that
so
out. You'd have your hair in a bun, Jay, and then you'd take out the chopstick and you'd flick it, and it'd be like glorious.
Well, now you're letting on how much you think about my hair.
Oh,
that's
dude. I was talking about it 2 days ago. That's not great.
When is he not talking about my hair? Man,
you've got hair.
So I told you guys to bet the over. Just would like to show how correct I was.
That.
Why would anyone bet against an air raid offense that also is a team that can't stop anybody? That's what I'd like you guys to know. So keep betting the over because Purdue's going to keep scoring, and unless something changes, they're not going to stop anybody. So just strap in, folks, for these 39-35 games.
There's a great thread, by the way, guys. I wanted to share this with you right off the jump. And Jay, you bring up something you could be a great segue. Talk about a team that can't stop anyone. Purdue lost 39 to 35. Okay.
You were there.
So yeah, I know. I'm not bad with numbers. I draw pictures for a living. But somebody did this great job. Chicago Boiler on the golden blackboard on the knucklehead board. Talked about the first 3 games of Ryan Walters' tenure as DC in Illinois. The first 3 games were versus Nebraska, University of Texas, San Antonio, and Virginia. Okay. He allowed 22 to Nebraska, 37 to UTSA, 47 to Virginia. Okay?
Mercy.
Yes, mercy is right. But then things calmed down. Maryland 20, Purdue 13, Charlotte 14, Wisconsin 24, Penn State 18, Rutgers 20, Minnesota 6, Iowa, Anish, sorry, this is going to break your heart, 33 points, and then Northwestern 14.
It's a veritable 2.5
that
games
next
of
year,
scoring.
Illinois was number 1 in the nation in scoring defense. Okay.
Right.
So the whole point is it took the team a little bit of
So-
time to hit a groove.
So after the Syracuse game, Wisconsin's up after
Wisconsin, let's
that.
go.
Let's go. There
Wisconsin.
comes that dub that I was talking about. Let's go.
Holding them to
September
13
30th, right?
points.
I don't.
All right.
Yes, I look. I think it's unreasonable. Anybody who's mad that this team doesn't have a Ryan
Are there
Walters
people
defense,
mad? Are there people
Well,
mad on the
are
internet?
there ever?
Yeah,
Are there ever?
Were people upset?
But-
I didn't
but-
notice. I didn't
but-
notice anybody mad.
I hope people don't actually think this team should have a Ryan Walters defense just yet. Now,
yeah, but
I'll
that's how
tell
this
you-
works, right?
I
You
wanna talk
hire
about some of
guy
the
with
people that-
defense.
The internet is
That-
right now, right? Microwave world we live in.
well, I mean, if you want to complain about something, I would say some of the rookie head coach decisions were what I would complain about. And I
Very much
don't.
so.
The thing is, as I'm watching it, I'm thinking,
That's
but he is a
fine.
rookie head coach.
Let him
it's-
grow.
Let them grow.
I mean-
Let them grow up.
It's fine. It's fine. Now you see what happens, right? Let's see what happens from here. If those kinds of decisions kind of get corrected,
Timeout clock management right before the half that
That was bad.
basically
It was
allowed
important.
3 free points. Yeah, it turned out to be really, really important.
Yep.
Changed the tenor of the game going down the stretch, right?
going up the middle. Over
I mean,
and
those
over
calls.
over.
And here's the other thing, though. I mean, like, again, this is any decent head coach that isn't a complete trash bag of a human would do this. But they were clearly trying to get, in the post game, they were trying to get him to say something about the offensive play calling and things like that. He didn't even allow the question to finish before he was
Yeah.
like, "This is my call."
Right.
We can't take 7 runs up the middle. It is what it is, right?
He's right, but
But-
pitch it outside once. I don't know.
Just an off tackle run when the inside of
Yeah.
your line is on their third
not
and
even a
fourth
pitch.
stringers.
Just yeah.
Maybe follow your tackles. It's fine. You don't need to follow the center every time. It's fine. A little hit the B gap maybe.
How about a little-
instead
yeah.
of the A? Like
Yeah. Just move over. Yeah.
move
2.5, 3 feet.
like,
Mix it up. Make them think something else might be coming. But Mountain West
Well,
lines, man, it's hard to push them off the line of scrimmage, right? That's an
Dude,
old
you
Bloomingdale
got to
joke.
give them
They used
credit.
to talk about Mac
their
lines.
their front was better than Purdue's front.
Yeah,
experience. I mean, size is
Well,
size, and experience is.
they're
is-
apparently an early rising team. That team was starting at a 9 a.m. start for them. Come on, Purdue.
They were
But
ready.
we were talking about this, and this is
and they
why
hit their
at
stride in the
least-
second half, Jay.
At least
Oh,
on
yeah.
this one,
Purdue got
at
sleepy.
least, and it turns out, Jake Hayner, the quarterback that they had for the last 2 years that led them, that was the big thing that they didn't like. Most people didn't know how they would adjust after having him. Turns out this transfer from
Keene's a beast.
UCF. Keene is awesome, especially in the second half. Like you said,
Yeah.
he came back after being hit on
Smelling
your quick gas
salts,
down.
man.
I mean, that receiver that he was throwing to, incredible. It really does look like Fresno. Hey, it turns out Fresno is a machine that's been built over the last 6 or 7 years by Jeff Tedford, and they're probably going to march to 9, 10, 11 wins again.
And in case I don't want to jump off the Mikey Keene topic 31
Loved
of
him.
44.
I thought he was so awesome.
31 of 44 for 366, 4 touchdowns and 1 pick. And the pick was not good. That was a bad decision and a bad.
But a
to
great
throw
It was
it
a
up.
great. It was a great pick.
Great play.
It was a
I
great
mean,
pick, but when you're
man,
throwing
bad
up,
decision.
all you need to do is run the game out, and you're throwing the
That's
ball.
the funny thing,
long
though.
down the
I
sideline.
said this to my brother. I said, this guy has not made a mistake this half. He has not thrown a bad ball this half.
And then he did that.
And then he did that. Like I was like, okay, we're in business.
Oh, and that was the 3-minute span where
Yeah.
Purdue looked like you'd have wanted them to look.
The back-
They make a great
yeah,
play on
after-
defense. They go right down the field. They score. I'm like, okay. There
But
we
you
go.
can't
Right.
you can't dig a hole that deep and expect a quick, with only
What do you mean a hole
certain
that deep?
ticks
They were
left.
ahead. They were
No,
ahead.
but I'm talking like in terms of
To blow it?
the momentum. The third quarter was a disaster. You know what I mean? Like you can't come out of halftime.
We found the inverse of Jeff Brom. Didn't he always rule third quarters? Wasn't that his thing?
Yeah.
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 And so this
We talked about this. What are the things that are going to define Ryan Walters? And let's hope it's not pooping the bed in the second half.
third quarter. The third quarter
Goodness.
was a disaster, and third downs on both sides of the ball were really bad.
Third
Let's
down,
boil it
especially
down
in the
to
second
that.
half.
I mean, like,
second half especially for both.
and all of that is still to say that if promotion and relegation existed Fresno would be at the top.
Oh,
Fresno would be
Yeah.
in the pack doing fairly well.
Toledo and Fresno. So Toledo went toe to toe with Illinois, and Illinois
It felt to me like that was one of those games. If you're a Toledo fan, you feel like, man, we won this damn game.
Right,
Exactly.
we had it.
Yeah.
We
We
had it.
had it. We won this game, man.
If Purdue would have won this one, Fresno would have had the right to say, the same thing, right?
Yep.
Again, we were talking every year. I have the things that I repeat for 12 weeks throughout the whole season. This year, it seems like it's going to be the coin flips, right?
Mhm.
And so, how often
that was a big one.
can you kind of put things in your favor, clock management, third downs, things like that, before coin flips keep going against you, right? And so it's like, don't put it in that range, especially against one of the few clearly winnable games that you have this year. The rest are very much coin flips. Now, nobody on the schedule looks as strong, week one
As
overreactions.
they did a
That's
week ago, right?
Exactly. Week one overreactions. Everybody's reality is a little bit worse than actual things when games kick off. So there are a few openings here, but it's still
Greg McManus, I do want to acknowledge this comment because I thought this in the second
sorry.
half.
Well, that's a good one.
Sorry, I hit
But
I hit
Waddle was
the-
in mid-season form. That's good
Sorry,
from
Man,
Dylan.
he does waddle, man.
Greg McManus says it was a halftime adjustments too. Tedford's been a head coach for decades. Walters was learning adjustments as a head coach for the first time. He'll need to learn fast. I thought that same thing. I thought, what I'm worried about here is Tedford knows what to go in and say, and man, it sure looked like it.
Maybe
if you believe in that stuff, if you believe in halftime adjustments, which I do, I think it's a thing.
I think it's a thing, but I think the thing that swung this game more were those play calling kind of indecision and the time management and clock management and things like that. That's the stuff that things like Thieneman playing almost 30 yards back. Like you can't see.
It's gonna be there. It's gonna be there. It kills me. I mean, I don't know why that's part of this defense.
One third and long stop. Come on.
I want to. Well, but you're right. That's where the game. But this is a
maybe
game.
that's a scheme. Maybe again.
Well, what do they talk
It's
about
definitely a
with
scheme thing.
football? Has all these weird things that people say. If you do this, if you win the line of scrimmage, you'll win. Yeah, there's all these stupid sayings in football. One of them is the turnover battle. Now it was only one for Purdue, but Purdue gave up the ball 0 times.
Yeah,
and Purdue had a special teams touchdown. When you get a special teams touchdown or you get a defensive touchdown, that usually swings the odds hugely in your favor because you're getting points from a place you don't know.
So let's focus
Wait,
on
when was
this
the last
point.
Purdue run back? Didn't you look it up? When was the last Purdue touchdown return?
I didn't look it up.
10
but
years?
I think
yeah.
we were saying 10 years at the.
Yeah.
A decade.
It was during the Hazel era, right?
Oh,
the
well-known,
Fond Hazel era that we can't
offensive
forget
regime.
about.
Yeah,
I would guess if I were going to put
Yeah.
a guess out there, I'd say it was Akeem Hunt, right?
Maybe maybe right before he was actually. But either way, yeah.
long time ago. Anyway, you're going to say
So
something.
there you go.
It's
Just somebody
been
says
10
Indiana
years.
State
And
was a run back in 13. Is that so?
That was a good year.
Gosh.
One of the four wins that we had in those.
Yeah.
In those.
Yeah.
No, there was one win that year.
So,
Yeah, well, that
most.
yeah.
There you go. It's most.
I meant the 4
John
years.
Younger.
I'm sorry, I was combining all of the years. It was 4 wins in 4 years.
Yeah.
No, you were going to say something when I said something about the turnover battle and special teams touchdowns. I interrupted you, and so you probably lost your train of thought.
Yeah, that's going.
It's good.
So bad.
God. I mean, here's the other thing.
tried to
mean,
serve right back up.
and
Thanks.
again, we are always going to heap praise on the players and
Yep.
probably put a lot of the adjustments on coaches, right? That being said, all of the things where it seemed like Tedford, the small things, the small kind of
That's it.
incremental wins to push it in. 4 penalties by Purdue.
That's it. That's the point. Okay, so there you go. And
4 penalties
Greg
for
and you,
35 yards.
Anish, had the point at the same time. 4 penalties, lack of turnovers. Now, so here's the thing. Tell me if you guys think I'm astray. In the best Jeff Brom team, discipline was a problem on the field, correct?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You're always trained to wait that extra beat because
somebody's going to blow. We're going to have somebody come in and cheap shotting somebody, right? It doesn't feel like that. This team was doing
This team
that.
seems they look well coached from that point of view.
Right. And so that's one thing that I'm not hearing from the people that are painting with the broad brush on the Twitter, on the X.
On the Twitter.
saying that, oh, this is the same old shit. We've been through this before. This is just like Braum extension. Yeah, there's some things about the feel of the game, especially the way
there's some carryover. There's some
culture
players.
carrier.
Yeah.
These are
It's
human
been 6
beings,
years,
right?
yeah.
They got to break some habits. But the lack of penalties, the lack of turnovers, that's pretty refreshing. I would argue because people are also saying that there was no pass rush. I don't think that's fair, especially in the first half.
Absolutely not. I mean,
Go back and watch the first half. It's different in the second half. Somebody asked earlier, what did the Heat play? Yeah, it played on Purdue.
Wasn't that hot, though, was it? I thought it was 80 degrees.
It was hot. I can tell you, it was 84, 86 degrees. It was very sunny. It felt hot. It felt bad. It was one of those where it felt really hot. It was humid, very humid. Typical Indiana early September game. You guys have been through this. It wasn't the worst game I've ever been to by any means. But here's the thing. Purdue looked to have worn down during the game. Fresno State did not. And somebody in the comments section on my post game, the Fresno State fans found my post game. If you go look, there's a lot of views. And that doesn't happen after a loss, really. But they said, it's like 102 degrees in the valley this time of year. They're practicing this all the time. They were ready. They did not wear down. Purdue did wear down. That's something that you can get better at. They can do better. They can improve there. And the other thing is there aren't going to be many games this year that are 80 plus degrees and sunny. In fact, next week
80 and sunny.
Is 80 and sunny. There you go. So that'll be it because that's a noon game. And then you go into night games. By the time the night games are over, it's probably going to be into the 70s, if not 60s,
So sometimes it's rain, sometimes it's heat. It's hard.
Right. Then you start getting into the Jeff Braum kryptonite.
Maybe Purdue should just build a dome. Maybe we should put a roof on Ross.
Put a roof on it. Super simple. No problem.
I don't know whether to address this over on the side. If you go back a few there, Dick Stillwagon and Ish has a comment. And this, I just want to jump on this because these are the things that drive me nuts. Take away the kick return, the big play by Burks, and this game would have been out of control. Yeah, okay. So
but then what happens
the 4 touchdown passes by
Can I
and Purdue wins big. I hate that shit.
Hold on, though. I know you may hate it, but hold on for a second. Before you throw so much haterade at the Dick Stillwagon, okay? Let me tell you why this matters and why Dick's point does matter. It matters because returning a kickoff for a touchdown is a rarity in this era, right?
Sorry,
okay. Right? Can we concede that point? Returning a kick for a touchdown is very rare, right?
Yes. Still counts.
And Deion Burks' play should have been a gain of 15. And it turned out to be an 80-yard touchdown, a 75-yard touchdown. And so hold on, Jay. Hold on. The problem is, okay, it glosses over the offense being decidedly mediocre with 2 plays. And that's my issue with this. You've got a quarterback that you and I are both impressed with in Hudson Card. Extremely impressed with. I think the guy can throw every throw. I think he can move the pocket. I think he can run when he needs to or when they allow him to. I think he's not being allowed to run very much. But the offensive play calling left me saying, I don't think the game was managed very well. I don't think they generated enough points or yardage. I don't think they generated enough true drives. I have a problem with the way this game was played offensively. And a lot of people are focusing all on defense because they're like, Ryan Walters, defensive specialist. I get that. I understand what you're saying. I think you're right. But I think there's enough room to be critical on both sides. If you watch my post game, Jay, you were there. Anish, what the hell? Okay. If you were there, though, how long did I hit on that? 15 minutes, 12 minutes, where I was just pissed off at the coaching of the game, right? I think I was very fair and even-handed with this. And I think saying you remove those 2 plays, it's a different game. And I understand you don't remove
I will not bend on that. You don't remove plays and say, well, if only this didn't happen, this wouldn't happen. If Rondell Moore didn't break every short pass for 60 yards, Purdue would lose a lot more games. They wouldn't have beaten Ohio State. You can't play that game. You can't say, it should have been a 10-yard game.
You and I were both impressed with Hudson Card, right?
Yes.
Was his day statistically noteworthy?
No. Well, noteworthy. 2 touchdowns, no picks, 250 yards. It's not
250
great.
yards in this era. Is that noteworthy? I'm trying to say.
It's the first game.
I don't think that. Yes, all true.
Well, it's
first with
170
new coaches.
if we're wiping out Burks' catch, right? It's only 170.
Right. No, but yes. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, like, I think that you can use Hudson Card better.
Oh, no doubt. I'm not suggesting this, but see, but you can't take a point I make that says, "Hey, we're not going to take things away," and say and extrapolate into me saying, "Oh, the offense was perfect." I didn't say that. I know there's a lot of problems with it. I know that was not perfect, but Purdue scored 35 points, and so we'll swing the pendulum back the other way. For the people who want to say the defense has to be better, I would agree. 35 points against a non-power conference team probably should get you the win at home. Under that in that atmosphere,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? Like so. I think there's plenty of blame to go around. I do not think the offense is humming perfectly.
Did either of you guys think there was any way Purdue was winning after they scored that last touchdown? I didn't. I said this. They're not going to stop
the very final one in the last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, I thought
they can't stop this offense. They can't stop Fresno
Keep
State.
the game.
They haven't made it.
After Purdue scored to go ahead, you're saying when I went up 35-32.
Yes.
This is what
I think I messaged you guys. Is it too much to ask for one more big turnover? I think that's what I said because I knew it would take that.
This is what I say in football. This is what I say in basketball. This is what I say Purdue and all of the sports, the teams that I like. Keep the game in stupid range, and stupid things will happen.
Yes. It's Anish.
And it wasn't
you're a
even
very
stupid.
smart man.
It wasn't even stupid.
That's the smartest thing you've ever said. Okay, I mean,
It's just
mark it down.
But Fresno played not even stupid.
Right.
They played really solid football.
But
they
if you
got better.
you put a game, you leave that much variable.
Yeah.
So many things can happen. And we've
it?
watched Jeff Brom do this shit for the last 3 years, and that's why Purdue fans are a little weary of it. Just give us, like you said, Anish, you've been saying this for 2 years. It'd be nice to just take a deep breath at the end of the game and high-five each other, sip your favorite brown liquor, and be like, yep, they're going to win this game.
Instead of Florida Atlantic, it's 28-26.
Exactly, Florida Atlantic, Penn State, Fresno State. My gosh, guys.
Well,
why can't we just have a nice, comfy win?
First of all, what you're saying is Purdue lost a couple close games in the ones you just rattled off. And someone in the comments just cued the Nebraska talk. So I'd like to,
let's segue into our
I would just like to say, starting the college football season,
it's going to be tough
on that Thursday, getting to see them winning the game by
a touchdown. The thing, Jay, right? They had it.
3 minutes to go. They turned the ball over twice in the final 3 minutes to lose to an offense that had 3 points in the first all but 3 minutes of the game. And here's one of my favorite subplots when this kind of thing happens. This has been ongoing for a while now. I couldn't wait to talk to you guys about this. So it was on Fox that night, right? So they had ISO.
That's right.
They had the big Nude Saturday crew, right? Which is luminaries like Rob Stone and Matt Leinart and Urban Meyer, who, man, what a dynamic television personality. So they're all at the desk. They're there, right?
What a great man.
So they go back to them, and Stone's like got a piece of paper, and they always do this, like because they can't remember stuff. And he says, Nebraska 2-13 in one-score games over the last 2, 3, whatever, 2 years. How do you explain that? I can explain that.
Tell us.
They suck. They suck. They're terrible.
Bad teams program. Do this, right?
This is what bad teams do. Now, I guess you could argue it's weird that 15 times they've had a one-score game because that suggests they get close. But
to use that as saying,
Georgia
they're
Southern,
almost there.
Wasn't it Georgia Southern? Georgia State? Whatever.
Georgia Southern, yeah.
I'll give you credit either way. I have no damn.
Well, but you know what I mean? Like the one that got Frost
They were blue,
fired,
right? Is that right, Anish?
The one that got Frost fired.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, sometimes you're having close games that absolutely should not be games at all. Honestly, Minnesota was not good the other night, and that game shouldn't have been close.
No, they didn't have any
at least
offense.
say 17-3, something like that, where it does feel over with 3 minutes to go. But it wasn't. But it wasn't. And now, my little dream. I messaged you guys before the season, and I said they start at Minnesota, and we knew that could be a loss because Minnesota's not a bad program. Yeah. And then they go to Colorado. And, of course, everybody was like, well, it's going to take Colorado a while. They're going to be bad for a while.
Turns out Travis Hunter.
Oh
my goodness.
Oh, boy. I cannot wait. This is Colorado's home opener after beating TCU on the road. And I agree with you guys that I don't think Colorado's really good. I don't think they've turned any corner. In fact, I looked at their schedule. I'll tell you right now.
It's
on
tough.
September, whatever. They're going to be 5-7 which is going to be a huge.
You think?
And
I think their ceiling is 7 wins. I agree.
I think 5 wins is what they're going to have because I think
I agree. I don't think you're off.
I think that That is a huge improvement, though, right? From a one-win
Dude,
team.
that's a great.
massive.
They've beaten a ranked team already.
It's so
I mean, like they won. They won. Their season.
Their season exactly. It's a success. And now you're going back to the Big 12 where you play TCU more, which makes it kind of juicy, kind of fun.
Yeah.
At least as of now, they're probably in the Big 10 by next season. Will be my guess.
Who knows?
Colorado will be a target. No, all I want. Not all I want. You know, it's not all I want. I want Nebraska to lose to someone they shouldn't. But if you look at their schedule after next week, they have. When you talk about winnable games, man, they have like 3 in a row that are like.
Oh
layups.
yeah.
So. They have to lose this one because you want all the pressure on Rule, and then you want that little doubt in Nebraska fans.
Yes.
Like you win those next 3, and you're like, "Oh, we're 3-2, but we just beat nobody." Like, and then they get to play like Ohio State or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I haven't memorized it, which is I'm sure shocking to people. But anyway, I feel so much better. That was
so we had a good discussion, by the way, and we can. I think we can talk a little bit about this since it is the Nebraska Handsome Hour.
the Nebraska Hour.
It's
Yes.
been for 3 years running.
We get asked for it. People ask us for
People love the anti-Nebraska talk. But so like I have shown some cards here with these guys that I really don't want Colorado to be very successful because their business model bothers me so much.
Sure.
And so
that's fine.
But Jay said, whoa, let's not rain on the anti-Nebraska thing.
Let's not go out of let's wait a week.
Give me one more week.
Yeah, let's wait one more week.
And the funny thing is, if here's the interesting thing, there's kind of a double-edged fun thing happening here. If Colorado beats Nebraska, Colorado will be ranked what? 12th, right? They'll just be like, "Oh my gosh, they beat Nebraska! That's a blue blood!"
No,
right? You know that they're gonna.
They'll have to win one more before they're ranked.
Oh, come on!
Really? I think so.
Really?
A blue blood.
Yeah, TCU might actually be bad this year now.
I think TCU is bad.
You brought up that stat line for the receivers. What, they had 5 receivers with 100 yards? Is that right?
I think it was 4.
4?
Yeah.
4. But just 4.
But Shedeur Sanders threw for over 500 yards against them.
By the way, I don't mean to disparage Deion because I really like a lot of what Deion is. I think he's entertaining. But what's Shedeur mean? I mean, like, I don't know where you go. What, like,
here we go.
I'm not trying to be at all disparaging to Deion and his wife or whoever. I don't know what the root of that name.
Hey Ben, it means throw for 500 yards in your power.
By the way,
you can be called whatever the hell you want, right?
Yeah,
if you have 510 yards.
I would actually like to rescind what I said before about them having a
LBD says shooter. He says it's a interpretation of a shooter.
He knew he was going to be a quarterback. How did he know that?
Anyway, I don't know. Man. I mean, you knew when Little Money was born that he was going to be a wealthy tycoon.
Right. I named him Tycoon. Nobody knows that. Ty.
Nobody. Yeah, exactly.
Short for Tycoon.
That's right.
By the way, they have Colorado, Nebraska does. And then they have Northern Illinois at home, should be a win. Louisiana Tech at home should be a win. But then they play Michigan at home. So they don't have 3 in a row. They have that. Then they go to Illinois. Yikes. Then they have Northwestern and Purdue, Michigan State, Maryland, Wisconsin, Iowa. So
and first year in rules, like everywhere Rule goes, like even in college where he was very successful, first year is a disaster. So, it could be fun.
Oh man. But Colorado fans, by the way, I don't know if you guys remember this because we're all old enough to remember when they were all in the Big 12 when Nebraska and Colorado were there.
Right.
Colorado really likes to beat Nebraska, like more than say Oklahoma. Like maybe not more than Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, that's a rush the field type game, right?
Colorado freaking hates Nebraska, and that's awesome. So great.
And so you, by proxy, are a Colorado fan.
Oh, I can't wait.
Here's
the thing, Jay. Though, it's
on the same time as our game.
Frost stoked that in you, correct?
Yes.
Okay, but their fan base is absurd, and stories from Greg McManus make you hate them more.
I think when I bring this up, you'll remember this too. Yeah. I have been on this anti-Nebraska train since they've been running out their only successful coaches. I've been bothered by this since Frank Solich. They ran old man Solich out, who was really good. Look at his record.
He's a likable dude.
Really good. Yep. And then they ran out Bo Pelini, who was a 10-win, 9.5 wins a year guy.
May not have been the most cuddly.
He cursed sometimes. Oh my goodness!
Like cats.
I get it. He wasn't. He didn't kiss ass to the boosters. Okay, that's fair. That you don't like that.
Would you kiss their ass? Hell no.
Well, it's fair that you don't like that. That's fine. But you have to understand how fun it is to be that way. Run off good coaches because they're not Tom Osborne. And then, like every decent man that comes through there, you run off, or good coach, because Mike Riley got run off fast too. And by the way, still still was more successful by a lot than Frost. By a lot.
Hold
And
on,
that's
we
the
got to
funny
get to
part.
this comment from
Sorry,
Dylan
go
Kuhn,
on.
whose dad wanted to name him Ty so that they could call him Tycoon. Tremendous.
Hey, and I've got
Just
breaking
do it.
news. LBD, the research department of Boyle Sports. He has the where Shadur Sanders came from. He's got it. I've got it right here.
Handle just
It
put
is
it in.
from. This is incredible.
Look
that,
at your screen.
what? Handel's
Oh,
got it. It's a
Handel?
biblical name.
That's
right. Handel Jones and LBD come at the same time. It's from Numbers in the Bible. So Deion and his wife.
Field of Light of the Almighty in Hebrew.
Okay, that's awesome. So I'm gonna just retract all my negativity. I'm gonna say I'm probably gonna name my next kid Shadur then. Listen, if you're a believer, if you're a Christian, Numbers is tough to get through. All right, it's really it's a tough book. It's a tough book, even
It's
for
a tough book.
a guy like Handel who's read a lot.
Not a coffee table. Not a coffee.
No, in
A
fact,
light beach reading.
it's tough. What'd you say? LBD's entered the room. Okay.
Something, not to bring it back to Purdue here.
Yeah, no, we should get
Why
back.
would you do that?
But a couple hours ago, it was said that Purdue's pass rush wasn't good or that wasn't impressive or whatever. I think it. Like I actually, at least the
I
outside,
thought the pass rush was good.
I think Scourton and Keidron Jenkins showed out. I think Scourton in particular was seemed to be just as much as and we'll talk about the pass threat, but Scourton seemed to be the guy that stepped up in that role of the defensive end that's going to be going to be game wrecking. So I thought that was good. I thought that was really good.
Since you're talking about the defense,
Does Scourton look the part? Holy moly!
What's that? Cairo's small? Is that the strength and conditioning?
Yeah,
coach?
dude.
Tremendous. Strength and conditioning
Ain't
coach
small.
named Small.
Dude,
Good.
I want to throw one of the since we're talking about defense, Dylan Thieneman, freshman, first game. Did you guys know that he led the team in tackles?
10 tackles. Yeah.
Yep.
By the way, what is something that we've always joked about that's never a good sign about your
When your
defense?
safety leads
When
you
the
to-
last line of
the
defense.
third line in the defense.
But I
leads you in
got a
tackles.
little trivia for you. The top two tacklers were defensive backs.
Oh, son of a bitch. Who's the second one?
Markevius Brown listed.
So,
as a
Markevius
DB.
Brown, though, I'll
let's
take.
dig in
I
a
mean,
little deeper with the DB talk. So there was one really exceptionally bad play. Number 19. He's the.
I think so. Alessandro.
Yeah, Alessandro. He had the look in. It was in the second quarter where he was nowhere near the Fresno State player. It's the worst error of the whole game. Everybody's gotten on the defensive backs for not being anywhere near in pass coverage. And even I watched Walter's press conference today, which is weird. He did it on a holiday. I mean, he's a hard worker. But the defensive backs were not way out of coverage. They really weren't. I wanted to see a little more pressure on the quarterback.
I don't think there were any
in that
PI
second
calls,
half.
though. Talking about DBs, there were no PIs.
No.
Going back to the point about not many penalties, there were a lot of
Right.
PIs. I feel like in
Right.
the last couple of regimes.
It
I feel
really
like
does. It really does seem like it. They just need time. It's not.
Yeah.
The talent is there. You just need time to understand the system and get positioned
Right.
correctly. I think one thing that I think Jay Money brought up. I think on the during the game, and then boilered out. I think you brought up in the quick cast, but OC Brothers just being put in position.
He's guarding the
cover-
slot.
to cover him tight.
Oh yeah.
It's not. That's
Dude,
not.
that's
putting-
hard, man. And he's not the quickest guy. Like
He
OC
hits.
Brothers is kind of he hits. He can tackle, right?
Run
So
stop,
let's
great.
look at
Was he the one on he was the one on the coverage to the touchdown? The wasn't it Brothers?
he
or
was
no?
he was in man multiple times in the third and fourth quarter, and there were 3 straight plays where my boy OC was getting worked pretty hard. They saw the problem there, right?
right. Good coaching staff.
But that's
Very
but that's
good coaching staff, and they told him what to look for, and it was smart. So you've got OC Brothers, who's not the greatest in coverage, and Cam Allen, who really struggles tackling an open field, right? So you had both of them on the field at different times, right? It's
Yeah.
tough.
It's
The
a sign
defense
of-
has work to do, and I think this coach can get them there.
But that's
But
sign.
man,
That's
there's a
sign of
personnel issue,
experience.
right? Yes,
That's the sign of experience because it's like now we're talking about the third, fourth string, or like third or fourth level DB,
Yeah.
and we're talking
Yeah.
about one of the defense or one of the linebackers, one of the outside linebackers who is great in run coverage. And picking on their weaknesses, right? Seeing something, maybe scouting, but seeing something in the first half and getting on, just pounding it in the third quarter. Like this is a coach with 20 years of experience. Like it
Right.
is what it
So
is.
one note I wanted to get to because it's breaking news, guys, and this is kind of semi breaking news. It's like 24 hours old. Purdue backup linebacker Clyde Washington got a DUI on Saturday night. That's actually now I'm starting to say, okay, coach has got to do something. You got 2 DUIs in 3 weeks. And so, like, I would say, here's where I would handle this if I'm any coach. I would say, all right, listen, you're getting a game suspension. All right, that's standard operating procedure. And then the second part is you're out. You do this one more time. You do anything one more time, you're done. And you don't give them a long rope. This is one thing that I loved about the early Joe Tiller, which is different than the late Joe Tiller, not the deceased Joe Tiller, but Joe Tiller in the last couple of years of his.
He doesn't discipline at all anymore.
No, he doesn't do anything. He's just taking it easy.
Terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Who kind of jokes?
But-
This
yeah,
is
it's
why it's not
awful.
good to be live. Go on.
No, exactly. No, but
I'll cut that
Joe
out,
Tiller
post,
in
don't
his
worry.
last couple of years, and who wouldn't blame him? He was 60-something years old, right? I can't remember his exact age towards the end. He was worn out. The details stopped mattering as much, right? And so Purdue had a problem where guys were getting in trouble, getting in mix-ups at bars, things like that. And you're like, okay, might be time to have a change. A young coach can stay on top of this stuff, and he's got to stay on top of this stuff. I would say you've got to. I mean, okay, they've gotten their warning now. The next guy, if he gets something somewhat serious, you bring out the hammer and they're gone.
There's no excuse for that, and not to be all.
Oh, it pisses me off
paternal
because
here.
you're putting this is
But,
public
like,
safety stuff.
Well,
I don't like it.
And it's a different era. Even if you could argue that during the Tiller era, like, oh well, there wasn't Uber, there's a million ways to get where you need to be now. And so I don't care if it's college people or pro athletes or anybody, nothing to do with people in public eye. There's no excuse to get behind the wheel. There's so many ways to get home now, no matter where you live. Like, that's stuff that drives me nuts.
This thing is amazing. It can do anything. You can use it as a flashlight. Did you guys know that?
You kidding?
Look at that. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
You guys probably on yours.
Most people don't.
That's
It's got
probably
a
yours.
flashlight built in.
You added that, didn't you?
Yeah, I ordered the extra expensive iPhone Mini. So when you have hands that are
Hands
this
for mini
size,
flashlight.
you get the smallest phone possible, or you break the phone a lot. Those are your two choices. So
Yes, give them the Uber per diem. Say, call this number and we will send a car to wherever you are. Absolutely. You do that.
no kidding. That has to be managed by the athletic.
So
department.
easy to
No
do.
kidding.
How about some of the $50 million coming in BTN money?
Goodness
towards,
gracious, guys.
Car service. I don't know.
Man,
I'm an ideas guy.
you are. Yeah.
Before we get completely back onto Purdue, which I guess we already have, but first of all, we should thank our friends at Home Field Apparel.
You guys have great looking T-shirts, by the way. Tonight, I wanted to say that.
The women's national title.
Ever since I flipped my camera to make these shirts readable, I don't know who suggested it to me. It really throws off
It's
my.
amazing. You're like, wait a second, I've got to move the
I'm
wrong
moving
way.
the wrong way. It's a different person in there. It's like
Yeah.
a cat in the mirror.
Yeah, it's like digital J is someplace far off in the ether. Real J is in New Jersey.
Right.
Yep.
But Home Field Apparel, if you enter Boiled 23,
Boiled 23.
you get 15% off your first order. And also our friends at AJ's on Vine. Man, good food. Good
Dude,
food,
listen.
beer.
Cool
Cool glasses
I don't
that
know
have
why
like
he's not
a
here.
little magnet on the bottom. Go on.
Yeah, it's cool. Their whole system's cool. They got a lot of stuff figured out. But Adam was texting me this. He was texting me as I'm passing AJ's leaving town.
Did he
He's
say,
like,
"Was that
dude,
you?"
I keep refreshing my browser, wondering if I could get a post game. I'm like, dude, I'm passing right here. I'm in
He was
the
on your
third
case
row.
when you were literally driving out of the area.
I'm not kidding. I was in the third row of my dad's SUV, my brother driving, and I'm in the back because I'm one of the shorter people in the car, and I'm a gentleman. And so I'm like literally like crunched up. My knees are up to my.
Why weren't you doing it then? I questioned your
a fair
dedication, just like
question.
he does,
It's a fair
just like
question.
Adam does.
Yeah. So you guys had to do, there was a little delay in when I did the post game, but Adam was ready to go. I'm excited. You guys both know this. For the Syracuse game, I'm gonna try to get over to AJ's on Friday night and enjoy a little Friday night football and a little mac and cheese bites.
Yes.
And then before I go there, I might even go over to eatajs.com, order ahead.
Put it in ahead.
They'll be piping hot right when I sit down. I don't have to wait. Like I'll sit down in one
That's
motion.
the way you
and
are.
Go in my mouth.
You want food? Where's my food?
Where's my food? I'm hungry. I mean, when you've got metabolism like mine, it's burning.
Gotta keep.
You gotta fuel the machine. Fuel this machine.
You know, it's not the same as Nebraska, but I really enjoy Brian Kelly eating copious amounts of.
You just hate to see it. You
I
hate to see it.
Now, here's one thing I want to say. I was thinking about this today. I want to share this with you guys because you saw the quote that went around, right, a couple days earlier, that he said we're gonna get focused and we're gonna beat the hell out of whatever he said. He was quoted as saying how they're gonna beat down FSU.
That was awesome. I didn't read it until after the game. That is so good.
But here's what I'll say. Brian Kelly is 60 plus. He's been to national title games with Notre Dame, right? He's done everything but the national title, right? And so that's why he went there. Why not? Let's try it. And I will give him this a little tiny bit of, credit. I can barely say the word. He knows what those LSU fans want to hear, right? He knows they want that bravado and that swagger, right? And if he says it and it works out, then he's a freaking legend, right? And if he says it and it doesn't work out, well, they're going to get on him anyway. So I actually think he's figured that out a little bit. Like, you know what? If I get fired from here, I've made so much already. It doesn't matter. I'm 60-something. This is the last stop. I don't think there's too much.
What's he make a year? 7, 8, 9? I mean,
it's got to be up in the 8.
Got to be right in there.
I'll take
it. 8 plus.
This information can't be possibly available, Anish. I don't know how you.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Oh, you'll take it.
I'll take it. I'll take his salary.
Yeah. Anywhere between 5 and 9.
Would you take his buyout though, Anish? Whatever it is, would you right now? Would you take that deal?
I don't need. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't need
Yes.
Without looking, 20% of his buyout. Yes or no? Right now.
I'll settle for
10%.
15. I'll settle for 15.
Wow.
I'll settle for 15.
Man, you're a generous dude. I like that about you.
When Brian Kelly comes into the picture, I get
his buyout has to be 20 or 30 million at least, doesn't it?
Oh, I'm sure it's
way more.
Shrinking.
It's way more.
It's way more.
He makes 8.8 million next to LBD. 8.8
It's
million
okay
a year.
when Texas A&M pays the largest buyout in history and then hires Deion Sanders. It'll be all worth it.
Dick Stillwagon says 6.1.
But maybe that's before. That could be like base and who knows.
If you guys notice, it looks like Brian Kelly's face is melting.
Someone pointed
this out to somebody. It's like it's something weird.
It's hot down there.
It's hot. That's good.
He's from like Connecticut or something.
That's right. He can fake the Southern accent. Hold on a second. Let me get in character. Hold on.
Wait.
All right, guys. Listen. It's a pleasure to be here down here at SEC. I got to tell you, this is the best conference in America. I am so honored to be hired here to be Ole Miss's coach. I got to tell you, these are the best fans in America. These are the greatest people I have ever met. I talked to a woman today. Her name was Sally Mae. We were at a
you guys sweet potato pie.
Exactly. Now listen, guys, I could go into full Southern all the time. It wouldn't take anything. I just did it right there.
I have to tell you though, you sounded like Jimbo.
I was going to say that's Jimbo.
Okay,
100%.
That's believable, right?
That's
is that a Panhandle accent? I really don't know.
I
don't know. I just start
Jimbo
talking.
Only sounds like Jimbo. Like there's nobody.
Are you saying it's fake because he's actually a Yankee? Is that what we're saying?
I think Jimbo's legit. I think he's like, I want to say he's like West Virginia or something.
Okay.
I don't think he's.
Now listen. You guys have both spent enough time in Indiana. If you get south of I-70 for some reason,
that's the South Bay.
There's some weird Southern accent that starts creeping in Southern Indianapolis. I don't even understand.
By the way,
I sound like this. This is what I sound like.
This is how delusional I am about college football. Jimbo Fisher is from Clarksburg, West Virginia.
There you go. Yeah, I was pretty sure because Saban is also a West Virginia guy.
That's what that accent is. It's kind of Southern, but kind of not. Kind of in the mountains, like it's kind of that mountain, like Appalachia kind of thing.
Okay, it's a kind of a guttural Southern,
but it's West Virginia. It's still the South.
It's real. Yeah, it counts.
Yeah.
It counts.
South-ish.
South will rise again type South is what you're saying. By the way, they won't. They lost.
Oh, you don't know that.
They
I've
lost.
already isolated the sound of you saying that phrase, and it's gonna be without any.
That's bad for my
It's
political
bad.
career. I'm going to run for president, and I'm going to lose because the Southern constituency is going to be against me.
Or scary, or even more scarily, you're gonna win.
Well, we got to burn all this digital. tape of
This
me.
is not live.
Going back 10 years, you mean?
I'll go
Exactly.
back.
There's a
Yeah,
lot.
I'll go
There's a
back.
lot.
So
My political opponents have enough to get me.
Virginia Tech, I want to say the game opened with Purdue as like a 2-point favorite.
That's right.
Or it opened even more, 2.5, and then it kind of settled to like 1.5.
One and a half. Yep.
It now might be kind of closer than that. But Virginia Tech in the first game struggled against Old Dominion, man. And so
That's a
They pulled
very,
away, though.
very good football program with a deep history,
ODU?
great
Oh, yeah.
athletes, awesome facility. I'm
It's
just trying to-
ODU, not ODB. I don't know if you're
Oh,
mistaking
dude,
it.
ODB.
I
Let's
know.
go.
I know. I
you do.
know
Nice
my
work.
audience.
Yeah, nice work.
Yeah.
I saw the
Oh,
ODU score in the second quarter when they were just absolutely struggling. I was like, ooh, this could be a real tickle fight next Saturday.
exactly next week, I think Purdue looks a little sharper.
They
and
will.
I don't, but Virginia Tech's at home, and Blacksburg is going to be intense.
As I think I've said to you guys, I'm really glad. So I'm not glad it's a noon game from the tailgating point of view and the sunshine point of view, but I'm glad that Purdue doesn't have to play at Tech with Enter Sandman as a night game.
I
I
don't
would
want
be-
any part of that.
And I know people act like that stuff doesn't matter. Where it does matter is college football. Where that stuff makes a difference,
It does
is
make a
where
difference,
vibes are a big part
It's
of
all
it.
And that's why we
vibes,
love it. Let's
Yeah.
keep it.
But that's why I'm
I
so
don't want to
excited.
get rid of the vibes.
But
No,
you have to be as excited. I'm not even going to be there, and I'm so excited about the environment in Ross-Ade against Syracuse. Holy,
I know.
is that going
I
to be
know.
fun?
The Syracuse
7:30
game is going to be fun.
Dark, but in Ross-Ade, sold
Romantic?
out.
No,
Already
sorry.
candlelight, already sold out. They're going to come through the tunnel for the first time at night.
Oh, dude. Oh, wait. Dude, are they going to light up that tunnel with the train light for that? And have steam
like
go-
it's coming out.
Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
I am telling you, they got to win. But I
Gotta
really
win
like
one
a win
before.
against Virginia Tech,
You
so that
gotta
it's
win
not
one
an 0
before.
2 team that's coming out of that tunnel.
By the way, did I
Tech-
see the Statman Cobra is in the comment section a minute ago?
Who's Statman Cobra?
There's he's awesome. If it's the same guy,
Oh yeah, Cobra Stats. I love that
yeah,
guy.
he's awesome. Seriously, if you want a good follow and you're a Purdue fan, Cobra Stats, I think is what it's called. Shoot, man.
Oh, I know Cobra Stats.
Yeah,
Is he in the comments?
I thought so. I thought I saw a second ago. Somebody
I think
said
someone
Cobra.
quoted him.
Okay.
Quoted him.
He's awesome. I wish he'd tune in because.
That doesn't mean he's here. Just like when we talk about Brian Kelly,
Oh really?
not here either. He's
Brian
not
Kelly's
here.
not here. Are you sure? There he is. He's here. He's here. Okay, there he is.
Oh, he is there.
He's here. In your face. Shut up.
Showed me.
Yeah, I did. I got right after you. That was awesome.
Ted Berkey asked, "Can Purdue enter to Crazy Train?" Hey, Ted, if wishing made it so, you could enter to whatever.
Oh, what if there was? I would like it on record.
Everyone loves Shout, guys.
I would like it on
I've counted
record.
at least 4 people that like Shout on Twitter.
I've
all
been
over
on
80.
this podcast at this point for 10 years now, and I began closer to my student days pro shout. That was 10 years ago. I am now ready to let go.
Sure, enjoy.
I am ready to let go.
Let's
Oh
let it
my
go.
gosh, can we bring in
God
something new?
bless
please?
America. Let's be done with Shout.
Did they, in all seriousness,
Almost like
they
Crazy
did do
Train
it again,
would
right?
be
It's still
perfect.
there. It's still
Great.
there.
What's that?
Shout was still there.
Oh, it's still there, and I wasn't there in my seat, as I'm never in my seat for Shout.
But
He's getting
it's
his-
a
he's
new
too busy
coaching
getting his
staff. It's
Sprite.
like this is the
Somebody
time.
called me down. I wanted to be there, Jay, and coincidence had it. Right when
happens.
someone called me down, there's ice cold Sprite down here. And I went down
Skittles
there.
and
I
Sprite.
was like, ice cold Sprite? What are the odds? So I went down there to find it. I couldn't find Sprite. I came back up to see Shout.
Wait a minute. Skittles and Sprite, that's a thing? That's a legit thing? Because
Skittle
my
Coke.
8-year-old dropped Skittles in a Sprite the other day and was
He's
like,
been
"It's
doing
good."
this. He's been doing this for 15 years now.
Yeah, LBD taught me when we were little guys
Mike,
together.
He's 8. He hasn't been doing it for 15 years. But go on.
No. This.
No, LBD's been doing it. He was 3 or 4. That was- I'm
child
telling
on this screen has been doing it for 15 years now.
Skittles and Sprite?
Coke. Skittle Coke is what we.
Oh, okay. What did he drop
Rossi.
in Sprite? It was
Sprite.
something else.
Come on, that's ridiculous. That's way too sweet.
That's
Skittle
absurd.
Coke
Why would
is
you do
lower
that?
sugar.
Boiler Dad is going to be live until he's 103 years old, and they're going to interview him and say, "What's your
Oh, he's
secret
gonna
for
be
living
sad.
this long?"
Skittle Coke.
And it's yelling.
I didn't like
at-
smoking.
Yelling
so-
at everything.
yelling all the time, and occasional Skittles Cokes.
Yeah, yeah. So I might. By the way, there are people talking about Shout, and this got me so badly, guys. You guys are gonna love this. Somebody said you can't complain about Shout unless you have a solution, and I was like, you haven't been on here very long yet. I've been talking about anti-Shout stuff since like 2015, probably. Easily. And I found an article where I gave a bunch of solutions. You've done it, Jay. There's multiple posts in the history.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, we've had solutions. And here's the weird thing about music solutions. It's a moving target. As we move into the future, music changes. So do you go with something classic? Do you go something that just like it punches something by AC/DC? Sure, you could do that, right?
Sure.
We talked about obviously
Back in Black Crazy Train. Here are two solutions. Anytime anybody asks
They
that
work.
question, back
and
in
I'm
Black
not even a rock and roll guy, but that'll get you here's the thing. Purdue's got a DJ. Here you go. Purdue, you ready? I've already found a solution.
If only you had a music expert in the building.
Yeah.
What if they did? I mean,
what if there was a DJ at every game? Let's spitball for a second.
come on.
No. So you take Crazy Train and you remix that damn thing, put a beat behind it so it's funky. Let's hammer it. But here's the thing. You could have a committee you could have athletic department, Ross Aid Brigade members, and maybe some old people. And you'd say, here are the 3 to 5 songs. Let the students vote it in, but you give them the 3 to 5. And every year it's a new song between third and fourth quarter. So you could say, if you guys like this tradition so much, fine. If they choose Shout again, I would be stunned beyond belief. I want something that gets people pissed off and ready to cheer. That's it. I don't care about anything else. I really don't.
What's your description of Shout? It's what white people like at weddings?
It's what my mom likes. Listen, there's nothing wrong with the song Shout. There really isn't. It's fine in its context. Oregon already does it. By the way, Animal House occurred at the University of Oregon in the movie. It's theirs. Let them have it. It's okay. I'm ready to let go. Let's move on. We've had the change of the guard 3 times since Shout happened, right?
Yeah.
Let's move on. My gosh, this isn't. I've heard people say this is their favorite tradition of Purdue. This is not the best tradition of Purdue. It's not even close. It's not even on the damn radar. Let's move on.
Shout and jerseys. This is where we do.
This
is where we run the
jerseys
the
look good. Jerseys look good.
Oh, I love those. I love them so much.
And what did we determine? Their first 4 games we expect them, and then a change. Is that what you guys told me a couple weeks ago? Is that what we think, or are they going to wear them all year?
They're not going to wear them all year. I don't think so. Every piece of intel I have says Nike has the old jersey is going to be back. Let's see. Yeah, that's
really? Wait a minute.
Yes, so the old jersey will be back. It's not the retro jersey, but the jersey we saw last year will be back. But they're going to do things with the helmet combo. They've already shown that in practice. They've got a black and white. They're going to have a black and gold. They're going to have a slightly different gold helmet with different decals. It's
Chris Harder gets us going with a would you rather. I like these. I wish people would send more in. Would you rather a 6-win season with a major upset over OSU or Michigan, or get rid of Shout forever?
Listen. Coach,
this is a good question.
You don't want Shout.
But I'm all about listen. I've sat in my seat and participated in Shout a couple times to try to help Purdue across the finish line because I thought I shouldn't move anything, right? Because we all know that's the most important thing.
That's key. You can't screw things up.
So stupid. Superstition is so dumb. Okay, but I
don't want to be the one to ruin it, so I'll do it.
Like beating Michigan, since Purdue never beats Michigan, that's a big deal. Purdue beats Ohio State every other year. I mean, really, what's the big deal? How stupid is that? It's true. They win every third.
Are they
time
5-3 at Ross 8 in their last 8 or something
it's
like
dumb.
that? It's
so dumb. It's so dumb. Doesn't make any sense. How do you guys feel? So can I talk candidly about your trip coming up to?
I mean, if you were to look around,
Now you have. So
I've let the cat
You
out
just-
of the bag.
if you were to look around in Blacksburg and see people that match, let's say any random two out of the three
A very
of us,
handsome
on
Indian
this,
man and a very handsome,
that could be any of
well-cloth,
us.
executive
It
type.
could be any of us.
executive. I'll be in a suit. Now that he's called me an executive, I have to dress.
You have to have a briefcase. You don't ever carry a briefcase, but you'll have one at the game.
Just with a sandwich in it or
We
something.
might be there. Who
A
knows?
selection of little mini bottles.
I ask a question about the team that you're sending, that Boiled Sports. I assume it's a Boiled Sports.
We're
potential.
charging it to the expense account. That's right.
A whole
yeah,
section.
We've
Yeah.
got so many monies. So is little money making the trip or no?
Oh yeah, the whole family's
Awesome.
going.
Oh
Whole family's
wow,
going.
this is big. So is Mrs. Anish going?
No, she couldn't make it. She
Okay,
couldn't make it. It's a bummer. She's bummed about
Also
it.
a Purdue alum. That's a
Correct.
shame. That's good contingent though. That's awesome. That's
Exactly.
fun.
The full
And then
contingent
so-
might make it to a later game this year in Ross. Who knows?
My sister-in-law will be there, my wife's sister, because her son is a senior at Tech. I don't know if I'd share this before,
The
but
state of Virginia is big in your family.
yeah,
We had a little mini discussion about this a couple days ago.
that's not.
I'm not
for
going to
air.
get too deep into
That's
this.
not for air.
That's not something to talk about. Mercy.
Yeah,
Mercy.
so we'll be there. We'll be tailgate. We're going to try to tailgate nice and early because it's a nooner, and then I assume the tailgate will come back to the house. I'm not sure we'll be giving out the address. Probably not.
Maybe though.
It's
Who
a
knows?
it's a,
It could
a
be.
very it's a very urban area around Blacksburg, so it could be. I mean, you
Blacksburg.
could just
Yeah,
walk down the street. And
Yeah, you'll probably
find
spot us. Yeah.
I've been around Virginia Tech fans in a game weekend. They are awesome. They travel. They are
Yep.
very, very. They love their football.
I
They don't
found
seem
a-
to be awful to deal with. Am I wrong?
I don't know, but I
No,
found
it's
viral.
not
I
hard.
found a viral video from a couple of years ago of students tailgating when Virginia Tech was extremely bad. They were going insane, and they were all being interviewed about how much they enjoy watching their team, even if they suck.
That's great.
They were all funny. They were all deadpan. They
Clever,
didn't take
yeah.
themselves too seriously,
That's
and I
great.
found myself missing college and also like falling in love with Virginia Tech. I'm going in with high
I've watched several of the Inner Sandman videos. I'm not gonna lie.
They're great.
It's cool. It's so cool.
So I've got like
and-
5 places I really want to see a game, and
Yeah.
Virginia Tech at night is one of them.
Yep.
It's that good. I think. I think it's elite. I don't think the daytime.
It won't be the
A
same.
nooner? I hope not.
It won't be the
because
same.
then
I sure as
Purdue
hell
can
hope it's
steal
not,
one.
yeah.
Exactly. Purdue might be able to steal one. I'll be yelling in the stands. We'll see. I'll do my best boiler down impression. I'll make
Awesome.
Greg
Awesome.
McManus says Virginia Tech is Mid-Atlantic, Nebraska. Now, Greg, here's where I'll push back a little bit. First of all,
There's a
they've
lot to
never
push back
been-
on that.
They've never been as annoying. Their fans
Never.
do not ever, I don't think, comport themselves poorly. And there's never been bullshit hype about them. Even when Tech was really good under Beamer, they still were kind of seen like, wow, look at Virginia Tech is here.
Yeah,
Like it was
good for
never
them.
like
It's cool.
blue blood. They were never, and that's
No.
what I can respect because Virginia Tech, I mean, we've made this comment about other programs. Couldn't Purdue be Virginia Tech one day?
I was
Virginia
going to
Tech-
say, loving the team despite the results. Brother, we're 63
We're there.
minutes into this.
That's right.
Give me a break.
And,
We're already
and,
in.
I mean,
College
they're not a
basketball
program-
preview is going to start soon, brother.
They're
It's
not a
not-
blue blood that came from constant years of success. Beamer just built them into being good. And so I don't know. They're not Nebraska. They're a far cry from Nebraska.
I mean, I appreciate what you're saying there, saying that
I get it.
the fans are true and diehard, that sort of thing. That's pretty cool. You guys ought to have a little mini cross-platform summit, by the way.
Who
Maybe
knows?
That'll work out.
Who knows? We'll see.
I mean, you know what you're looking for with Big Dylan there. So
We'll figure it out.
yeah.
But
that's cool.
last week you guys bullied me into it. Last week I was really I was scared of Tedford and Fresno and the first
And
game
look, we
and
were all
experience
right.
versus not. And we all called it, but I feel like we were all kind of we all called the win. But everything else that
Everything we said lost
was
until we
the
said
other
prediction.
way. I know. And then we're like, we don't want to be bummers here.
Coaching
exactly.
staff, first
We're not that
game.
type of guy.
I am honestly actually predict. Like I am. I hope we don't all do this. I am hoping that it's a split decision here.
He's gonna do it.
I am feeling good about this one.
Yeah, there he
Me
is.
too.
I never feel good. I
Okay, there
never
we go.
feel
We got
good.
2-1. I say Purdue wins.
I think.
Hey, buddy, please predict the loss.
No,
Please.
I don't feel this from the start of the season. When the schedule
have-
came out,
You
I
never
did not
liked this
like
one.
this not because I think Purdue can't. Because if Purdue's offense plays like they did, and the defense gets a little better, they should beat any mediocre team, and that's what Virginia Tech is. It's a pretty
Virginia Tech
mediocre
is
team.
not where they want that
They're not
program
good.
to be. Because remember, many people in that Virginia Tech family were saying, let's make a change last year, right? I'm not saying
Oh
that-
yeah, in year one, people
Year
were.
one,
Right,
I
was
think
actually-
he got some patience, but I think people were pretty pissed at how bad
Right.
they were. Terrible last year.
Yeah. And they do have it's a good foot. I mean, from everything I understand, that's a good football culture. And
Yes.
so I get why they're frustrated.
Well-
I think
Well, the
Purdue's
fans
in
are
a
a
better
good-
position because Purdue is looking up. Big things are coming. I mean, I'm going to
The
say that.
fans are in like a good, meaning the fan culture is good. It seems like the athletic department is just a mess, and
That's
so
an
that
issue.
is a part of what a part of what they're all upset about. So, but I look forward to it. I feel I thought Purdue would go out of the first 2 weeks 1-1. I'll stick with it. I'll stick with the Virginia Tech. But Jay Money, you
I
have
like
been
that
on
pick.
this all year.
I like saying 1-1 after the first two, but what I said to you guys was I just felt better. I think I said this last week. I think
agree.
you'll remember. I think Fresno State's a better team,
Definitely.
and that's more of a threat.
Yes.
than Virginia Tech.
Yes,
But-
it's bad timing. Fresno State's good
but-
right now.
But Fresno State at home, I like that if I have to pick a win over Blacksburg.
Right.
so
yeah, right.
Correct.
that's
So
how
let's-
my logic came.
Let's hope nobody shows up. So
Yeah, I'm sure it won't
it'll
be
be
full.
it'll just
Early
be
in the
Purdue
season,
fans.
beautiful day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Harder gives us another would you rather. Would you rather get rid of shout
one's
or
easy.
get rid of the IU sucks chant every kickoff? Now that's actually harder for
I
me than
don't
it should
listen.
be.
Students, I think
hate
I
the IU
encourage
sucks.
students to yell IU sucks all the
hate it.
time.
I hate it.
Students-
Why are we talking about IU football?
Listen, guys, you miss the whole point of this if you don't see it. You
I'm
want
in.
the rivalry to be as hot as you can all the time. And IU has done their best to make football completely irrelevant on their side. Right?
They're trying so hard though. That's the hilarious part. They're
And
trying
they
so
suck.
hard.
No,
It-
shout in an instant.
Yes, shout.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
IU sucks is silly after every kickoff,
Oh.
but it's silly. It's the good kind of silly.
Ted
Yeah, it's a
Berkey
good
comes
silly,
with it.
and let
Ted
the
Berkey
students
comes with
be.
it. Here's
Damn it,
here's an
Chris.
offer. What is the price for keeping shout? Final Four in both football and basketball. Deal.
Deal.
Football
right now. Deal. Yeah.
And
I mean, you
basketball.
can
Final
be one of
Four.
those.
I will
I'll
sing
take
shout
one.
every game.
I'll take one, and
Yeah,
I'll
either
have shout
one.
for the next 20 years, and I'm fine. Right? You guys disagree?
Ted, you went too far.
Yeah, you went.
You got to
shot-
bring it
yeah,
back a
this-
little bit.
That's an easy price, easy one to find. Okay, hey guys, as we look 2 weeks ahead, something
Yes.
to think about. I don't want to jump over Virginia Tech because it's a game that it'll be fun. It's neat to play an opponent you don't usually play. But Dino Babers is 61 years old, guys. So our handsome young coach is going to
never
have
gonna
to
come to
face
Purdue, it's
another
gonna be soon.
veteran coaching staff. here
Yeah.
in a couple
Yeah.
weeks.
Oh, true. True.
And I think there is something to be concerned about because Dino's got his system in place. They've been there for a couple of years. They're kind of entrenched. They got
Are
some.
you
good
kidding?
old
Or are
habits.
you? Is this a bit? Or are you serious?
Oh, I'm already.
We'll talk about this next Monday, but I'm not worried about that because Purdue should have blown their doors off last year, and they didn't. And I
Is there a
think-
quarterback back? That gigantic dude who did whatever he wanted to do against Purdue?
I
Seriously.
actually don't know. But they put up 65 points, so I think that that might indicate that.
Yeah, but it was against two.
No, they
It
played
doesn't
nobody.
count.
Yeah, they played toothpaste.
Okay,
They played Crest
they
or
played toothpaste.
Scope.
Pearl Drops. Scope.
Scope.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't remember what it was exactly. No, we should talk about that later.
2-1.
That's
So I
Tommy
think
Gingerbread.
2-1 Purdue prediction. Purdue
I-
win this
The
week.
game I,
think
feel
that's
best
good. I
about
think it's good.
is Syracuse. The game I feel best about. I think they're going to pummel
Let's
Syracuse.
one
So-
week at a
so-
time. 1 week at a time.
One week at a time. It's a good way to face it. I think the one of the big takeaways I had after the post game is TBD. My daughter, Tiny Boiler Dowd, she really thinks Coach Walters looks good in his shirt because he's got big muscles.
He does.
He's big schmedium
does.
gang.
Oh, he's definitely in the medium gang. And if he would have suited up on Saturday at defensive back, Purdue would have won.
That's exactly.
Sorry, that's not the. That's
When he
me.
jogged back into the tunnel after the halftime
Get
interview,
outta
I
here,
just
man.
went, he can still play, man.
Oh, he can play.
Look
He
at
can
that
play.
guy.
And I can tell you, he gave me a vice grip handshake a couple weeks ago.
I can't even imagine what that felt like. Well,
My
I
tiny
told
little
you,
baby hands.
I played in that when Breeze used to do the golf thing.
Yeah.
I played in that when Hope was there. And
Oh
Hope's
my
handshake,
gosh.
I will tell you,
Dude,
Terrifying.
I'm shaking Danny Hope's hand. Yes,
it's a big
correct.
meat
He's-
claw. Like,
Danny
claw.
Hope. Danny Hope is everything you hope for when you meet Danny Hope. He's there's nothing about
big
him that is.
steel chiseled man.
I wish
nothing-
Morgan wouldn't have burned that bridge because he would be fun
Oh.
to have
He's
around.
so fun.
How about as like
So
a color guy on the radio?
Oh, man.
Gosh, man.
How fun would that
He's the
be?
best.
For those of you who have never
Uh-oh.
interacted with Danny Hope, is everything that you hope he is. He's just there's nothing about him that surprises you, but also it's so great. It's so perfect.
Mike
Also-
McManus brings up the McManus. He looked he really did. That dude is still a freight
stop.
train.
I was too busy. I shared a picture of him in the group chat, and I was just looking at his arms. I was too busy to notice that his actual hype speech was not very
Not very good.
at
Who
all.
cares?
Not
Look
very-
at
You
him.
guys, you good have a good game.
He took some
What?
long pauses that didn't help his momentum in the speech,
It felt to me like one of those where he had no idea what he was going to say, and then he
right,
started talking.
right.
And
I'll
that's
just
never. A
wing
good
it.
I didn't
way.
think a lot about
I'm
this.
just going to wing it like a best man speech. It's
All
like,
he should
whoa.
do, he should just to get a random car and push it up Slater Hill like he did back in the
Right.
day, and it's all good.
He was
That's
there.
It. That's the only speech
Guys,
you
he
need.
was there when Boiler Dad and I were on
Yeah.
campus.
Yeah.
He-
That's the thing that I
was
thought
a
when I saw
million
him. I was like,
years
he's
ago.
2-3 years older than me, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
so
about
let's
the
say he's
same.
50. He's 50.
You
He's
guys
probably
look
about
about
50.
the same.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So I told somebody who was sitting near me at the game, I said, you make a decision when you're in your mid 40s, either to lean way out, Jay's doing this, lean way out, or stay strong and get fat. And I've gone with the continuing to eat because I like to eat.
Allstott, by the way, one more mention on Allstott. That has bothered me for going on 30 years that that Purdue didn't do better for him, that he didn't get a bowl game. That
Right.
still
An
bothers me.
all-timer. It's nuts.
But he got a Super Bowl, so that always made me feel good.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. He
He
deserved
won
it.
the Super Bowl, and he's considered probably one of the best fullbacks of all time, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you
Oh,
say?
yeah.
I don't think there's any debate, right? You have Zonka
Right.
and he and
And he had the
Moose, maybe?
he had the
yes.
neck protector. That
Oh, yeah.
went
Gosh.
back.
Because he just
so good.
ran straight
Yeah.
nose first into everybody. It was
Didn't care.
incredible.
Right.
There was man, he was so fun.
Bring
And
back
it-
old Purdue guys. Keep
You
going.
wouldn't think a
More than
fullback
just
would be
Leroy
as fun
Keys. Shout
as
out
he
to
was.
Leroy Keys though.
Yeah. Leroy Keys.
Purdue Jim Colino had nothing else. He just gave the ball to Allstott.
And yet it was first and goal on the 4-yard line versus Notre Dame, and they didn't run the ball once with Allstott in that.
4 throws into the end zone.
Mother
So,
father.
okay.
I still am pissed off about that, guys. I was a freshman in college.
I
think.
remember that. No, I think
Sophomore.
I was a
The
freshman.
fourth
Okay,
and-
so I was a
the-
sophomore. There you go. There you go.
The fourth and
Son of a-
goal was not the running back's fault. It was the fact that the offensive line couldn't get Bush. That being said, if you give Allstott the ball, would he take
Today.
8 tries
Today.
last week on Saturday?
100% he goes in. Are you
Does he
kidding?
get in? Okay.
Are you
I just
kidding?
wanted to know.
I'm not
I just wanted to know.
exaggerating at
Oh,
all.
I don't think there's any question. He wouldn't be a mini carry back. But give him 2 or 3, he's still gonna destroy some dudes.
Yeah. So it's
It will
fourth
be
and
good.
or it's 6
Someone-
down on the 1.5 yard line, and you're giving it to Allstott. And
Somebody
he's
in
breaking
the
it.
comments started talking about our old game about coaches in the Big Ten fighting, and they said
Oh, yeah.
who could
It's a good
beat
game.
Ryan Walters in a fight. Now Walters is not
He's a
huge
nice guy.
physically,
Yeah.
but so I would be a little worried about Mel getting his meat paws on him,
Still,
but
yeah.
I don't know about too many others. And then somebody asked about him and PJ. Now PJ was a wide receiver.
Well, I
and
take
Walters
I
was
take-
a
I
DB.
take-
Walters
oh,
would like to line him up.
I'd
Oh,
really
yeah.
like to see one route. I want to see like a one-on-one, just
Yeah.
a single route covered.
What,
And just
PJ
see
running around?
PJ versus Walters. PJ
Now
versus
PJ's
Walters.
fast. I'll give him that. He's fast. He
He's
had
still
to be.
fast. He still runs
still
the
fast.
stupid little prancing deal. He goes up
I
and
It
down
wanted
the
to see
side.
super tight
one-on-one.
His
orange
tight
pants.
pants.
Not orange, brown. Super brown pants.
Yeah,
with a
super
necktie-
brown. Yeah.
Necktie under the quarter zip, which
Don't
bothers me
ask.
so much. It
Yeah.
bothers me
Well,
so much because
I
it's so
think we
stupid.
may. I think we may be in trouble because we haven't overreacted enough to this game, or called it an
Hey, man.
embarrassment, and called it called for his
Yeah,
firing.
what the heck? I mean,
But
I
you know
literally
what?
had people walking out of Ross-Ade saying,
No,
this isn't
come
working.
on. No, come on.
Yes, they knew who I was, which is always fun. Yeah.
No, because you know what? If you, not that you ever draw up the way you want to lose a game, but if you have to lose a game and
We've
see
done it every
things-
way possible.
Well, but if you
Sorry.
right, and this is far from the worst way.
Oh.
This is not Daryl Hazel leaving a pep rally and going down to Cincinnati and getting curb stomped, and then they never. That was probably one of the best games they had. That's how bad that era was.
Yeah.
Because people were excited when they left. That was literally like the highlight. So it's not. It's like there's a lot of things to be excited about. There was a half of football to be excited about.
Oh, by the way, we didn't
first
even-
drive, 84-yard touchdown pass. Like these are things that didn't happen for a while. when
We
were
only
coaching.
glossed over Deion Burks right
Oh,
before
Deion
we
Burks, man.
leave.
What
This is my official apology, Deion Burks. I wasn't familiar with your game. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
I apologize.
I
I'm not
apologize.
familiar
That's
with
me.
How
your
could you,
game.
I mean, like, seriously, unless you went to spring football, there's no way to know.
Oh, he looks so good, man.
He looks great.
Oh,
And
he
he's
looks so
he's done
good.
a great job.
It's
working
all
out,
about-
getting bigger and stronger.
It's
I'm
also all
telling you.
about like
He's-
QB, wide receiver,
And it
like
looks
really
right.
like so. Card clearly has, at least so far, it looks like Card now has a thing with him like that.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
that's
would
just
love
a
to
guy
see.
he
I would love
likes
to see
throwing.
Garrett Miller come out.
I
maybe the
was
safety
just
valve.
about to say,
Yeah.
just a something underneath, like just
Yep.
some
Oh,
underneath
that'd be
option.
nice.
Garrett Miller would be really nice. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see if Garrett Miller.
There's a
can
good
call-
request, by the way, in the margin.
About Anish's
Jared
lighting.
Misner says, "Can we get Anish to turn down the lights to match the mood?" And I don't know if you have the face lighting like Jay and I
Dare
do.
you? No,
That's
I
the-
don't. I don't.
so
This
you
is
can't
all
do it.
natural
Right,
face.
Exactly.
Here.
Yeah. So I have lights in front of me. Like I have two. My
sometimes
wife
I
was
go,
very, very critical and made fun of me a lot. About
What?
3-4 days ago, I was working on lighting because I hate this shadow over here. Both of them. I hate them. And I need one more light source.
You
I
have one
don't
up
have it.
overhead, yeah, like shining.
No,
down.
but then you lose. I love this, so I'm gonna try to light up the back. I've got a plan. A good lighting guy. Don't we have a lighting guy that works for Boiled Sports?
Yeah. I'll give you his number.
Thank you. Thank you. He's right there with our IT guy,
Yeah.
who never.
My
earns a
favorite
nickel.
is
It's the
Boiler
worst.
Down
He's the worst.
yelling. Boiler Down has now gone to the point where he's yelling at his actual shadows.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, these are you guys. You suck.
That's it. It's tremendous.
every time I turn around, I can't quite grab it.
I can't. Yeah, I always try. I'm like
All right, I think we've squeezed all the juice out of this one.
that's a good one. This is a lot less logical. I think that's the way we want to be, right? When we're really
Vibes, man. Vibes going into
I
Blacksburg.
talked to
and coming
multiple
out of
people this
Fresno.
week that they sat in for a Handsome Hour. Like at a tailgate, I had a very good friend who said I get to listen to Handsome Hour. LBD class the place up, informative stuff, and I was like, but not much emotion, which I think that's what we're known for. Really, that's our brand. And so I think
Yeah,
this is
not
what-
intelligence. Not
No,
intelligence.
It's definitely,
emotion.
I mean, it's
By
definitely.
By the way,
about
I want to
stats and
leave you guys
research.
with something I found on the Twitter machine. There is a Tom Allen comedian Twitter feed, so I'll be retweeting from that.
That's awesome.
During the IU game.
And it's literally, it's great. Tom Allen comedy for those of you interested. There's got to be some comedy gold we can get out of that.
Can Tom Allen, the football coach, rename himself Tom Allen, comma football?
Tom Allen, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw this.
Tom
He
Allen,
really-
come relentless.
Tom Allen, the football coach, is very mad that they have to play a Friday night game because he said Friday night is for high school football. And I was like, well, Tom,
Yeah, because he's a
I
high
was
school.
going to say, I got news for you,
Exactly.
Tom.
You shouldn't be too angry, Tom. This is like a comfy sweatshirt for you, bro. And it wasn't that long ago. Let's get.
It wasn't that long ago. It was last weekend. Come on. IU football is a little bit like high school football. Come on now.
Yeah.
Oh, I know they only lost by 20. And I love how people do that. They're like, they played really well. They did. And they only
Okay.
lost by 3
Yeah,
touchdowns.
they got their ass kicked still, and they
Good
had a
job.
touchdown at the end. If you didn't watch that game, there was did they get a cheap one at the end? Or am I wrong? No, they only had
No.
3. I'm thinking of the Northwestern game. That one, by the way, is funny, and we didn't even talk about it. Northwestern's horrible. They had a muff punt, right? There was Rutgers had a muff punt at the end that gave them 7, and
I thought I was a sicko. I didn't watch that game.
dude, I watched the whole thing. I don't know what's wrong with me because there's nothing else on. So
No,
I
that was
watched
weird. It was a Sunday, right? It
the
was a
feature
weird.
game. What are we doing? That was CBS. Was that one of the new networks? Am I wrong about that? I think it was CBS.
CBS is not a new network. It's been around.
Oh, really?
CBS
They're not
is-
brand.
I
I've
think
never heard.
they're just a startup.
I've never heard of them.
They're just
Oh, the one other team in the Big Ten we didn't talk about, Anisha's favorite, Iowa. Brian Ferentz needs to score 25
Oh,
points a game.
yeah.
He scored
One shy.
24.
Where
He's-
Anish? Where is your
He's
fundraiser?
I know. I
need
need
to
to
I,
make it. I need to make it.
I think didn't you say last week he's going to score 24.6 as the average and make the 25 as a result? It's almost like they're trying to. It's like 24 is all we need.
That's all we need. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna
Next
be
week, score
A.
26. We're fine. See, he's going to.
But that was a game. That was a game they needed to pad
Oh,
their
score
stats.
50.
They really,
Oh yeah, that was a bad team.
yeah.
They're
So,
not-
so we're in for fun later.
It
Oh,
actually,
it's good.
I started thinking about the fact that we all think Iowa's probably going to win a lot of games this year because that's what Ferentz does. It would be really funny if they start like 6-0 with like all like 14 point, like 14,
Yeah.
14,
funniest
27,
Perfect.
14
Iowa
to-
wins.
and then, but they're so far behind on the average that even at 6-0 is in trouble. That would make for such fun for the Cyclones.
10-2 with a 24.4 scoring average this is what I want.
So
this
good.
Is absolutely.
But then
what I want.
they'll be like, we can't fire him. We've been
Can't
great.
fire him. I mean, he
We're
almost
really good.
got it.
Yeah, but a
He's
promise
the
is a
best.
promise.
A promise is a
Come on.
Not in nepotism land. It's not. Blood's thicker than water, my friend.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you all for tuning in live. You guys have been great. Looks like Brian Kelly is tuned in, which is awesome. So thank you for tuning in live. Thank you to those who are listening on delay. We appreciate you. Hammer down. I love you guys. Good night.